Are you ready to block advertising and privacy trackers from all apps across all devices without the need for rooting, hacking, VPN, or other crazy tools? How would you like to do it in under a minute and for free? Stick around and I'll show you how to do it on a Lenovo Duet, a computer, a phone, a tablet, and even the Oculus Quest. Stay tuned. All right, before we get started actually showing you how to do all this good ad blocking and privacy tracker blocking, I'd like to take an opportunity to tell you why you might consider wanting to do this. Now, if you're just here to figure out how to do it, get it done, and be out the door, I get it. Look down in the description. I'll have links straight to each device that I do this process to save you from having to listen to this whole spiel about why you should be blocking ads to begin with. And then at the end of the video, I'm even going to explain to you how this ad blocking works and why it's so effective. So let's get started with 3 reasons why you should be blocking ads and trackers across every device that you own. Number 1 is speed. So now we all live in a world of high-speed internet and cable modems. We don't typically think about speed anymore because the internet's just so fast that any bump in the road doesn't really matter anyway. And advertisements are definitely a bump in the road. But if you've ever been stuck in a bus station or someplace where your internet totally sucks and you're getting barely a couple of bars, maybe you're on a road trip and you're browsing the internet looking for something and it is so slow, advertisement is a huge contributor to slow down problems with the internet. In some cases, it can even halt your page loading or your application loading until it can reach the ad servers and pull those ads back. So maybe it's not something you would notice while you're browsing at home, but maybe something you see when you're at a hotel and the Wi-Fi totally sucks and you're all fighting for a couple of bars of data. So speed can be a huge performance drop with advertising if you're not blocking it already. Number 2 is quota. Now, a lot of people are used to unlimited, 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 but the tides are turning. Even those internet service providers that used to provide unlimited internet access every month are starting to put data caps on. Like, for example, Quest Communications, Cox Communications, everybody here in Phoenix has a data cap. Now, maybe you've got unlimited data on your phone. It doesn't matter to you. But a lot of people are still using prepaid plans where you have a certain amount of data you get to use every month. If you're one of those people, you should really be interested in blocking ads because not only are ads annoying and aren't really doing any service for you, but they are in fact chewing through your data cap. They're chewing through the data that you're paying for. So you're actually paying cash out of your pocket to view ads. So that's another great reason to block advertising. The third one is privacy, right? So advertisements used to be sort of benign. You would go to, say, a computer building site and a little ad banner would pop up and say, hey, you could buy a video card for $139. Click here. Those ads used to really literally just be ads. But unfortunately, with the nature of the internet, these advertisements are now actually being used as personal trackers. What you're clicking on, where you're clicking on it, is all valuable information to advertisers, especially companies like Facebook and Google, who are tracking you not just what you're doing at newegg.com, but what you're doing across the entire internet, whether you're on Facebook or you're on a Google product, or you're just in some benign place. These advertising trackers are watching you every single minute just by loading the ad, not even clicking it on newegg.com, for example. These advertising companies know who you are and what you're looking at. By blocking all of these advertisements and blocking these ad servers, those privacy trackers, those third-party trackers that are watching you as you move across the internet on whatever device you're on, those all go away. So hopefully you're convinced that blocking ads is in your best interest, and I've given you 3 good reasons why. So before I tell you about how this ad blocking system works, let's get down to the meat and potatoes of things, and I'm going to show you how to do it on various devices. Now, it's really easy to do it on a smartphone. It's easy to do it on various devices. I was looking for my tablet. I got a Lenovo Duet tablet right here. I've got a Lenovo Duet tablet right here, the Chrome OS that I've talked so highly about. We can do it on anything. Yes, we can even do it on an Oculus Quest. So let's get busy. I'm going to switch to a direct feed so you guys can see this a lot easier. We'll take the devices one at a time. We'll apply the magic, and you'll see how amazing your internet experience can be if you're blocking advertisement. Okay, let's get started by blocking the ads on the Lenovo Duet. It's my favorite Chromebook 2-in-1 device. It operates as a Chrome book as well as an Android tablet. So it's one of my favorite goodies, and you can see I'll put some videos over there for you to take a look at for Lenovo Duet. But let's get started. Simply click the clock area down below, then click the gear button. I'll use my pointer here so you can see a little better. I'm going to go ahead and select the Wi-Fi point that I'm using, and I will hit the little caret over, and then I will select network. And as you can see right now, I'm using automatic name servers under name servers. You may be using Google name servers, very popular. So what does that look like if we go to a very heavy website such as windowscentral.com? So let's see what Windows Central looks like without any ad blocking whatsoever. So first off, we got this nasty ad along the bottom. As you can see, it's taking a while for the page to load and it's stuttering. We're going to scroll down some more. All right, I'm not seeing any other ads. Oh, there's another nice, look at that. Look at that. Look how big that ad is. And it takes up my whole screen and then some. We scroll down some more. There's another ad. Place is loaded with it. And I bet if I go into one of these articles, I bet there's ads everywhere. Let's take a look. Oh, look at that. Big giant ad at the top. Sometimes the ads actually look like real content and you end up clicking it. All right, so I'm not seeing any more inline ads. But you get the idea. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Look how big that ad is on top of there. That's nutty. So let's see what it looks like after we block the ads. So we're going to go to custom name servers, and we're going to have to add some. I'm going to give them to you right here. They'll also be down in the description below. 94.140.14.14. Then for the next one, we're going to use a similar number, 94.140.15.15. Okay, could that really be it? I mean, that took us practically no time at all. Let's go back and have another look at our buddies Windows Central. Now, sometimes you'll still see ads laced in a page that you've been to before because the ads are in the cache. But in this case, looky here. Well, there's a white space there, but there's no ad in there. Nice. That's pretty nice, right? You see how fast the page loads, how fast it scrolls when you're getting ready to get to the next piece? Almost a completely different experience. Let's go into one of these ads, sorry, the slip of the tongue. Let's go into one of their pages, and you can see there are no ads. Now, if you remember, too, when we were on the main screen, there was a big ad along the bottom down here, a pop-up ad. And if you were on a mobile device, it would be a nice big chunk of your screen down there that it takes up. So as you can see, ads are all gone. So again, all we had to do was go into our Wi-Fi spot, go down to network, and replace, I don't know why I didn't save the other one, but that's okay. As long as we've got one in there, we're fine. So as long as you've got one, and you know what, we'll go ahead and put the other one back in here for the sake of completeness. Maybe I just have to tab off of it or something before it's saved. Okay. That's it. That's all it took. Now, if I didn't go through the explanation and show you everything, that would have taken you, what, 30 seconds? Maybe a minute? But let me show you a couple of other things real quick. If you're one of those people who are on multiple Wi-Fi points throughout your home, you'll have to do and set that for each and every one of them. As you can see, I've got a couple of other Monroe World access points, and if for whatever reason I was on one of those, the DNS settings that I made would not carry over to those. So you'll have to go into each of your access points, and that works the same too if you're on Ethernet. So if you're plugged in hardwired, then you'll also have to go in and make that setting as well. But Small price to pay though. And the best part is that it works everywhere. Now in the browser, we could have easily turned on ad guard or ad blocker or something like that. But the great thing is the sites can't tell that you're blocking ads if you're using a DNS type solution like we're doing. And the other cool thing about it is it works no matter what. So whether or not you're inside of an application like an Android application or you're in a browser, it doesn't matter where in the network that you are or where in your Chromebook that you are. It doesn't matter. It's device wide. It blocks it at the network level. So it's not tied to just one particular application. Okay? So really cool, very simple, took you just a couple of minutes. And remember, if you're traveling with your Chromebook and you connect to another hotspot or you connect to your phone or something of that nature, you'll have to go in and set that DNS setting. Now, if you're using a Samsung phone, which is what we're going to do next, you're going to see that they've got it built into the operating system to use what they call private DNS. And that actually works globally, regardless of what Wi-Fi access point you're on. And better yet, it works regardless of whether you're on 4G or if you're on Wi-Fi. So let's do that next. Okay, next up, we're going to take a Samsung Galaxy phone. This happens to be the S10, but almost all Samsung Galaxy phones have something called private DNS. And private DNS is going to give us the same sort of ability to quickly globally across our entire device, change what DNS servers are being used to look up sites, and by using the AdGuard DNS server, we're going to completely block ads across the entire device, and it's not even on a connection by connection basis like we did with the Lenovo Duet. It is actually just one setting fits all. Let's do it. First thing to do is swipe down, hit the gear, hit search, and search for private DNS. You can already tell I've searched for it, so I'm just going to click that. Choose private DNS. Choose private DNS again. And as you can see right here, all you have to do is change your private DNS settings to dns.adguard.com. And that's it. Hit save. Now, we could use the IP address that we used prior to. So we could use that 94.140.14.14 address. But it's just easier, and it's easier to remember and type plain text if you just do dns.adguard.com. We couldn't do that on the Duet. It wouldn't allow us to do that. We had to use an IP address. But in this case, we need no IP address. We're going to hit save, and we're going to open up Chrome, and we're going to go back to Windows Central, which has proven to be our best source of checking our ad blocking. So let's take a look. Let me go here, and I'll just do let me go ahead and just close everything just to make sure we're starting fresh. And we'll go to Windows Central. Okay, so there's no ad at the bottom of the screen, and there's no ads in line either. But just like we proved out before, let's go back. Well, we should be able to just go to the recent apps, go to private DNS, and turn it off. Okay. So now let's jump back to our good friend Windows Central. Close everything out. And let's see what happens. Now, again, we could be cached partially. Oh, there we go. Here comes the ad banner. Did you see how long it took that ad banner to pop up? That whole time was slowing down your page and your browsing experience. And look at that. More ads, 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 ads. We keep scrolling. I guarantee we're going to see more ads and more ads. And you can see it's making the content, oh, look at that. Look at that big giant ad in there. It's keeping the content slow loading, right? Did you see how fast it loaded when it was blocked through private DNS? And now look how slow it is. This is affecting your browsing experience. And since I'm on 4G, I'm paying for these ads to load with my bandwidth because I'm not on unlimited. I'm still grandfathered in off an old plan. But look at that. And there's that nasty banner at the bottom. You can close it, but I guarantee you it keeps coming back. Big ads all over the place. I don't even need to go into one of these to know that there's going to be a big, giant, freaky ad come in. Oh, there it is. Car accident, attorney Phoenix, right? So look at that. Then there's another, then it brings the ad banner back at the bottom. It's still trying to load that one. Look at that. It's a big white block down there. It's still trying to load that banner. But you see what I'm saying? I mean, you're paying for this. I mean, you're paying with your quota. You're paying with your time, right? At one point in time, I was tracking how long these blockers, these third-party trackers and ads were costing me in terms of time. Before I reset my computer, I had a counter going. It's built into the Brave browser. I was up to hours of my time was spent waiting for ads to load. Hours. It's nutty, right? So there you go. Once again, go to the gear, close that, go to private DNS. Bring this up where I don't have to lean over. And set it to dns.adguard.com and hit save. I know what you're thinking, Shane. I don't have a Samsung phone. I've got a HTC. I've got a Sony phone. I've got some other Android device. Well, the good news is you can do it here as well, but you have to do it the same way that we did on the Lenovo Duet, which means you have to do it on a per connection basis. So let me turn my Wi-Fi back on. This just makes it easier. I'm going to long press my Wi-Fi. I'm going to go to my current network. And I'm going to go to advanced. Go to static DHCP settings. And there are the magic numbers you're looking for right here. The DNS1 and DNS2. You'll simply use the numbers I've provided for you down in the description. And you will be blocking ads too, even if you don't have private DNS settings on your phone. That seems to be sort of unique either to the higher versions of Android, or it's unique to the Samsung One UI. So that's it. That's all that it takes to block ads all across your phone. I'm not talking about just your web browser, not just Chrome, but I'm talking about games and other applications that are constantly throwing ads at you. This shuts the ad servers off. Next up, let's see how to do this on the Oculus Quest. Okay, so we're back and we're inside the Oculus Quest, and we're on our good buddy Windows Central, as you've seen from earlier in the video. And as you can see, the ads are alive and well. We have ads up here. We have ads trying to be spawned in here on the bottom. I imagine as we scroll down, we'll continue to see more ads interfering with the oh, there you go. Here's our Best Buy ad, all that good stuff. Now, unfortunately, the problem here is even though I can stream and show you what the browser looks like, I can't actually show you what the settings look like for Wi-Fi. Look at this. It's still streaming ads in. Even as we sit here talking, ads continue to slowly stream in and interrupt the looking and viewing of the web page. So, unfortunately, I'm going to have to just sort of tell you about what I'm changing in order to walk you through this, because I cannot record the scenario. So if you were to go down to your wireless connection here, and of course my screen just went black and I'm sorry, go ahead and long click the connection in question, in my case Monroe World 5, select Forget Network, go ahead and find the network again that you have. Now you find the network again, select it, enter your password, but before you hit connect, click Advanced Options, scroll down to IP settings and change IP from DHCP to static. You'll need to fill in the IP address that your Quest was using before, as well as the gateway to your router. If you don't know these things, it's possible to obtain those while your Quest is normally connected. For a lot of people, your gateway is going to be 162.168.1.1, and the IP address will be 192.168.1. something. I believe mine was 34. So I'm going to go ahead and enter those numbers. And then you're going to scroll down to where it says DNS1 and DNS2. And you should probably know by now we need to provide those with the numbers I've given you in the description. And go ahead and fill them both in. You could probably get away with just one of them, but I don't know if it'll let you save without it. Then, of course, make sure that you've got your password entered. and hit connect. Okay, and then we will be hopefully back visible, and we are. Great. So now I'm going to go ahead and try to reload this page. Now the DNS settings may require a reboot. During my testing, I found that sometimes it requires a reboot and sometimes it does not. So let's go ahead and reload Windows Central, and let's see if the ads have gone away. Oh, no, that one's still there. And the one on the bottom still there. So you'll need to reboot, and I'm going to go ahead and do so, which means I'm going to lose my screen. Okay, and we are now back. I'm going to go ahead and return to the browser. Make sure, of course, you're connected to the same Wi-Fi spot that you made the changes to. And we're back on Windows Central. And as you can see, we are ad-free. No more ad there, no more ad there. No more ads popping up in the middle of everything. And as you can see, we're getting around the site considerably better and faster without the ads blocking us. Good stuff. Well, listen, I think that will do it for the Oculus Quest. Again, if you have questions, please feel free to put them in the comments. I'll do my best to try to put something together that that makes sense in lieu of the video that couldn't be captured. So I hope you enjoyed looking at the Oculus Quest version. Oculus Quest 1 and 2 work very, very similar. Whether you're using 1 or 2, the process is pretty much the same. Okay, I also promised how to show you how to do this on your PC. Now, the wise person might go to their router and just change the DNS settings there. That way everybody in the house gets the ad blocking changes. But let's just do it on a per PC basis. That way you're not imposing your ad blocking will amongst the rest of the house. So this is actually pretty simple. We're assuming Windows 10 latest edition. Simply right-click the network icon down by your clock, select Open Network and Internet Settings, choose Ethernet or your Wi-Fi. It'll depend. I'm going to assume that you're using a wired PC. It's similar with Wi-Fi as well. Change your adapter settings. And in my case, I have a whole bunch of different adapters here, but you're looking for whichever one is identified as being connected to the Internet, which in my case is Mineral World 5. Right-click, select Properties. Look for Internet Protocol version 4, not 6, but 4. Select it, hit Properties. And now you should start to be able to figure out from here what needs to happen. Use the following DNS server addresses. I just happen to have them cached in my clipboard here. So 14 and 15. And hit OK. And close. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up the Chrome browser. Oops, it's a little small. All right, so we should be in blocked mode right now. So let's go to our buddy's Windows Central and make sure that we have no ads. No ad up here, no ad here. We scroll down and we still have no ads. Perfect. Now we close this. We'll go back in, Properties, version 4. Remove the DNS settings, hit OK. Run Chrome again. Go back to Windows Central. And as you can see, look how long it's taking to load now. It's still loading, it's still loading, it's still loading, it's still loading. You can see the ads are back. The grotesque, ugly ads are back. And this one even sits there on the sidebar as you scroll down. How nice and convenient of them. There you go. And of course you got this big nasty one at the bottom and that you can close, but I assure you it will come back if you go moving around the site enough. That ad will come back. Oh, there's a nice big Best Buy ad for you too. So that's it. That's all it takes on the PC. I told you it takes 1 minute once you know what you're looking for to go in and make these changes. So that'll do it for the PC. Easy peasy. So how does all this stuff work? How can we change one little tiny setting inside of these devices and magically block all advertisements and all third-party trackers, not just in browsers, but in any application that exists on your tablet or your smartphone? How is that even possible? The secret has to do with something called DNS. Every computer on the internet, every page that gets served, every application that gets data from, it all exists on a computer somewhere. And the computers have something called an IP address. It's a long, complicated number. You've seen them before, 192.168.1.1. That's usually the internal IP address of your cable modem router. But every computer on the internet, every source of information on the internet has an IP address. Well, nobody is going to go to a web browser and type in 125.212.1.32 to go to Google. They want to type google.com, right? That's how we all work. And ad servers work the exact same way. Advertising servers are servers that have a name attached to them, such as ad.doubleclick.com or whatever, right? That's the old school joke for those of you who've been around for a while. But regardless of where the information comes from, be it the legitimate content that you want to see or an advertisement, they all come from a computer that has a crazy IP address that gets crunched down and put into some sort of normalization, some sort of a name that makes sense to humans, such as Netflix.com or Google.com or, even BeatSaberQuest.com, little side plug for some of my Beat Saber tools. My point is, though, is if you can disrupt that naming lookup, when I type in google.com into my browser and hit enter, that goes to a server called a DNS server and says, hey, I got a request for google.com. What is that address? What's the IP address that resolves to? The DNS server shoots them back and says, here's the IP address for google.com. At that point in time, your browser and Google start talking and you get Google results. This tool, this advertising blocking system that we're using, replaces the DNS server that you would normally be using from your internet service provider, be it Cox Communications, or if you're on your phone using mobile data, that may be Verizon Wireless. They also have DNS servers. Anybody who provides internet service to you is providing DNS services for you. A lot of people actually use Google's own DNS servers because they're really, really fast. And that lookup, that name lookup from google.com to an IP address is usually one of the slower parts of your internet transaction. So using Google or Cloudflare or one of these other big internet providers, using their DNS servers tends to be faster. But what if you had a DNS server whose sole purpose it was to not send you back a valid IP address for these ad servers? So that's exactly how this product works. We're changing the DNS server on your devices to point to a DNS server that simply ignores all calls to known advertising computers, right? So it tries to go to ad.doubleclick.com, and the DNS server that we just put on your devices says, I don't know what that is. Go with God. Be with you. God be with you. There's nothing for you here. And that's why all advertisements are blocked. And this also goes for third-party trackers and anything else that this service deems as harmful to your privacy or could be serving you ads. Likewise, the same service actually offers a family protection version of this DNS server. So not only is it blocking trackers and advertisements, but it's also blocking pornography sites or other sites that your kids shouldn't be on. So while kids are pretty smart these days, and if you put some sort of a tool on their phone to block them, like some sort of a net nanny tool or something like that, they're probably going to figure their way around it. But if you're using, say, a private DNS server inside your Samsung phone that your kids have, they may have a lot harder time figuring out how to get around that and get to content that you don't want them to see. So I hope you enjoyed looking at this and enjoy your now ad-free and tracker-free experience on the internet, regardless of what device you use. If you have any questions, of course, if you think I missed something or you'd like to know more information about DNS blocking, please feel free to leave a comment below. And while you're down there, you know the drill. Subscribe, click like, and of course, check that little bell so that you get more of these great videos sent right to your inbox without having to come and look at YouTube. I'm Shane R. Monroe, and as always, thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.